Hey everyone, good morning. It's me T coming at you with a reading for not today but Monday into Tuesday. So I'm just recording this live just so we can have a little bit more fun with it, a little bit more fun. And I just like to record it live because like real talk, you know, it's like double real. Amen. Like I can it's not super finite, it's unlimitedness. Or it's limitlessness. Amen. And so, okay. Basically, so this reading is gonna happen. It's gonna take place Monday after 3 p.m. into Tuesday up until 3 p.m. So that is your Miracle Monday, that I like to call it, separate from Feng Shui, but also Monday would be your knowledge, spirituality, and self-love and self-care. Also, self-joy is coming through. I think I just have to include that in every reading, even though that's my insert there. You know what I'm saying? Because we really do. We have to make it. We have to make it a part of our daily. I'm gonna say we have to, as adults, we have to make it a part of our daily tasks or our daily responsibilities, because if we don't put it at the forefront, like we'll forget to have fun, we'll forget to laugh, we'll forget to be in our joy. And joy means a lot to me because the fact that it also helps to I'm getting the word magnify, but I was gonna just say materialize your dreams into reality, right? So, and amen to them being magnified. Why the fuck not? Because I feel like for those that really deserve it, they're not asking for as much as they deserve, if that makes any sense. So the whole thing is being your joy and let joy magnify it, right? Which is beautiful. Okay. And I'm talking about real joy, by the way. I'm not talking about oh my god, I love this. Okay, I just love that I could do this. Okay, it's so fun. Talk about freeing. Okay, so what else did I want to say here? I wanted to say yeah, I'm talking about real, genuine fun, not like denial fun. You know, there's like a fun that's like, oh yeah, I'm having fun, but like the truth of the matter is, you know, that person's really not having fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, yeah, like basically denial, I feel like I have to look it up in terms of what it specifically means, like what it specifically translates into as a definition. But as a feeling, I feel like denial is just being out of alignment, not being truthful with yourself, not even wanting to see what the issue is so that you can fix it, right? And it's just really interesting because this life, no matter what anybody has to say, this life is literally all about keeping things afloat in terms of, you know, fixing it if it's broken, but if it's broken, just not being in denial about it and leaving it broken and moving on to the next. And like, for instance, repurchasing another thing for yourself if it can be repurchased, and or you know, just letting go of what no longer, I guess, serves you in a way of which you can't fix the thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to let go and you have to let God and you have to just kind of come to terms with it. But it does, that whole process does take feeling the pain about things, and I just think that people don't want to give pain the time that it deserves to actually be healed, so they end up ignoring a whole lot of shit, you know, and that piles up. And then it's kind of like taxes, like how some people like are wait until tax season to do all of their motherfucking receipts, right? And it's just like, dude, you can't do that to yourself because you're causing yourself way more pain than by just taking everything a little bit at a time, right? Like that's how you can lose your fucking mind, actually, right? So the whole thing is, it's like you want to, as the pain comes in, you want to feel it to heal it, and you want to be with it so that you can dismiss denial right away, and denial has nothing to do with it in your now, and in your later on. You know what I'm saying? So basically, you're like untouchable to the denialness of which you create. You then are basically allowing more real joy, which joy translates into a whole bunch of different things. Like joy is like actually feeling the real feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, if a person is dying, right? A person who is dying wants to actually be in all of its moment, in all of their moments, right? Like, just to like take it all in. And those are where what we like to call like those simple small moments are like the big moments. That's what life is all about. And so I feel like a dying person, even though they're feeling a lot of pain, their joy, their pure joy comes through the what is it called, the small like tidbits of life, right, that they get to actually experience. That's what's trying to come through, actually experience. So it's kind of like you're wanting to actually experience the pain, actually experience the sadness, actually experience because that is the joy, right? That's the joy of living, is just experiencing the emotions, right? And not tossing it on somebody else, like, you know, your kids, like, for instance, to be your emotional fucking support group and support team. Like, that's not how you do things. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the traditional way of life, is to basically, I feel like, have kids to like help you out with fucking everything, also selfishly bring you the joy that you can't fulfill within your own self, and then all of a sudden, like, it's weird because, you know, life tends to happen with your kids around, and then you realize that, you know what, there was a lot of fucked up shit that like a parent would do to their kids, that is just basically way more selfish and untruthful, just so that like the parents don't have to feel it, right? So it's kind of like, again, it's more so like kids in the past were used as like, you know, child labor, but then also emotional support, you know, fucking animals and shit. You know what I'm saying? Which is like that's not the way that you do things. But, you know, people will do what they fucking do, and, you know, we've all lived through it some way, somehow, right? So the whole thing is, it's like, if you haven't lived through that yet, you might just live through it in the future. But the best thing is, I don't wish that upon anybody. The best thing is, just be truthful, honest, and feel your fucking feelings, no matter who the fuck is there. Sorry, I dropped a card, so thank you. Spirit is like, yes, success, yes, amen. So that's basically what I wanted to say there. Give me 1 second, because for all you Canadians out there, it's my first cup, bitch, and then second cup is coming up. All right, so thank you, spirits, for so much, just so much, such an abundance of blessings, honestly. So, yeah, so there was something else that I wanted to actually express there with the whole child thing. Oh, is that, yeah, this morning, it's so interesting that I'm even talking about that, because what sparked in my mind was, oh man, I feel like I'm needing to like cry something out. I'm so grateful for it, but maybe it's like hitting home, is like, you know, Pink's song, damn, what is it? Like, we're all lighthouses or something like that. And in the lyrics, it's like, I forgot the song, but I know it's by Pink for sure. I just forgot the name of the song. And even the lyrics, but the lyrics kind of like express how, you know, like, it's like you what's done is done, but you really fucked us up in a way of like we were good to you, right? Like we the children were good to you, you know? And the whole thing is and like we're kind of like searchlights. Oh yeah, that's what's in the song. It's like we're like searchlights, da, 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 da. I don't know, I can't remember what the lyrics or how the rhythm even goes, but the whole thing is it's Pink's Searchlight song, and in those lyrics are super true. Those lyrics, many of those lyrics are super true, because it's like it's just that, like, I feel like the quote unquote adults having kids, or kids, big kids having kids, because that's really what it is, have really kind of been untruthful with us, but yet it's so fucked up because it's like you're manipulating the situation because kids just don't know any better. And so it's kind of like in the song, it's like we followed you for as long as we could, but it's also fucked up that you fucked us up because of the fact that, you know, we were kids. We don't have any idea. You guys, you know, the guardians of our lives are those that are in charge. But you know what she says in that song that's super, super amazing is, that's so coming through right now, is I don't want to be in control. I would just want to let go, right? And what's so phenomenal is that those lyrics came through this morning, and literally I was doing cards for myself, and I came across something that is the meaning to one of my cards, and it was saying like it's not, because I was thinking when I heard those lyrics, I was like, I wonder what's the in between, right? And I was like, you know, because all of us want to fight for some sort of control, and you have to have some sort of control over your life to actually live a healthy life, right? And then you also have to have that balance of letting go to where you're just like, fuck, you know, like I have to get some shit off of either my breastplate or my plate in general, right? Like you just have to like, fuck, you just have to like release it, you know? And let it go. So I was wondering what the midway happy way was, and it was wild because, thank you, Spirit, this is confirmation that my description of one of my cards said it's letting go of self-control. It's like it's I forgot what it said. It said something like letting go of self-control. Oh my god, I'm seeing success at the bottom of the deck again as I fucking as I fucking shuffled, which is amazing because it's like everything is confirmation, which is so I'm getting to the point, and I'm trying to see that maybe I have to read it because I think I'm trying to verbatimly say it, and it's not that. And I think it was, give me 1 second if I can remember what the fuck it was. It said something like, oh, thank you. It said mastery, not control. And I was like, oh my god. I said, that's so crazy, because like I was just wondering what is the happy midway between letting go and having control, and it's mastery, right? Like, and actually that might not even be the midway happy way. That may just be like a more evolved version of control, which is like, this is why you deserve to have control, and you deserve to have the power and empowerment behind it and the longevity behind it, because you've habitualized it in a healthy way, of which is then evolving into mastery. And I was like, holy damn, that's super powerful. So thank you, 18, for all this success, because you know, I personally have been just having a wild ride with that, and I'm trying to resolve it within and of myself first and foremost, but also outside of myself. So, and the whole thing is, it's like, you know, people might not like how you quote unquote rule yourself, rule your world, rule the outside world of you, rule, you know, what needs to be done versus right versus wrong. But at this end of the day, by me getting that, like, that mastery factor, I was like, holy shit, like, I've done it for so long that I am a master in that. And people are haterades on the mastery, the masters, or the mastery type of skills that that people have, you know, really put in the work to attain. And so to that I say, I don't give a shit. It's like, you should have found it way more important to then become the master of that, and or let the person that has been called to do the mastery be in control of what needs to be kind of in control, so that things kind of move forward with more flow, right? So there's that healthy control, and then there's that negative control where it's like, I roll you and this and that, you know what I'm saying? And so it's weird, because some people bring out the fucking weird control aspect, and yet you're not even like that, and then you're just like, what the fuck is it? But like, maybe it's their language that you're just trying to use in essence to say, I've mastered this, so let me fucking do it. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's really interesting, because what you like to do in general, habitually speaking, and what you return to and what you don't mind doing, usually is your mastery. It's your natural gift, right? So I just want to let you guys know that if that is, you know, maybe a career question that you're asking yourself, you know, in the next 2 days, like, that's what you're gonna try to look at, is like, and also I just have a feeling that, like, somebody of mastery, like, I feel like people are going to start realizing what their mastery skill set is, and really kind of honing in on that. And whether you're told, or you see a sign, thank you, Spirit, literally, like, that's what you're gonna start doing, rather than maybe as something that you thought you were gonna do or whatever. So I feel like basically, like, the culminations are coming back around, where it's like there's like a cycle ending, but then a new cycle beginning, of which is a complete and total completion of a cycle. So all right, let's get into the cards. All right, thank you, Spirit. Highest best yang card, highest best yin card, highest best midway card. Okay, cool. Oh, this is so interesting. Okay. Okay, so for Monday after 3 p.m., the card that comes up is reconsider. The midway happy way between Monday and Tuesday is take action. And oh my God, we were just talking about this. This is so crazy. And then the card for Tuesday, the first half of Tuesday, up until 3 p.m. is yes, with exclamation point. So it's so interesting. And when I say yes, exclamation point, I was getting like some sort of celebration. So we were just talking about how you might be like, you know, discovering what your mastery is and like running with that. And this is exactly what I feel is going on. The reconsider is kind of like, all right, you've been doing one thing, and like maybe trying several different things, right? I was watching something yesterday that was really interesting in terms of the reconsider, but maybe it'll come back to me, because it's like slightly like a faraway memory. But so the reconsider is like, yeah, you might just get one thing that like kind of sparks within you to be like, you know what, I'm rerouting, and then you're gonna take action towards it, and then you're gonna see, you're like, oh my God, this is like your stamina, this is what stimulates you, this is what makes you come alive, this is what you say fuck yes to, you know what I'm saying? Rather than like a hell no, it's a fuck yes, you know? So and then, by the way, Tuesday, which is the yes exclamation point card here, Tuesday is, the first half of Tuesday is family. Yeah, family. So I like to add in there ancestors, angels, earth angels, I think that's about it. And also I'm gonna add in there dragons for some reason, because dragon wants to come up, and I feel like that's a really big feng shui. I'm gonna look into that actually. That's really cool. I'm gonna look into that. Wait, something just sparked, and I don't know why I don't have a notepad like near me on the ready all the time with these with these readings, but I absolutely will do that now. Hold on one second. Let me just get that on the ready. All right, there's a curiosity that sparked in me. All right. I have to just like look into something. What's today? All right. Okay. Oh, woo, I'm excited. All right, hold on one second. This is another idea came, okay, into my life. Okay. All right. Also, what you were listening to me hum there was, oh, I think her name is Lesso, and it's, oh, I don't know the title of the song, but it's like, I want to say I love you, which is at the tip of my tongue or something like that. And that song hits home because it is such a good song, first of all. Second of all, it is literally like such truth, right? Because there's so many people out there that like want to say what they want to say, but like can't because of all these weird ass human ass stigmas that are always like in the fucking way of things, instead of just being clean cut and like, thank you Spirit, that was confirmation, instead of just being clean cut and clear about what it is that you personally want and not giving a fuck about what anybody else thinks, even the person that you're saying I love you to. It's like, it's kind of more so, I'm gonna say in a healthy, selfish way. Like, if you were just to fucking say it and like, you know, pop that quote unquote, you know, energetic pimple already, or like, you know, rip off the fucking band-aid already, like, you know, it could release a lot from within you. It's not even about the other person and how they're going to react to it, you know? And I think that's what a whole bunch of life is not other people's reactions. We have to like somehow become way more courageous about not giving a fuck about what anybody else it not only thinks, because that's a little weird to me. That was always a weird thing to me. Like, don't give a fuck about what anybody else thinks. It's more so don't give a fuck about what anybody else reacts to. Like, if you fucking want to do, you know, wear a fucking tutu today, don't give a fuck about how other people react to you, you know? You know, I'm gonna just say this here for right now. Self-love, spirituality, and knowledge, to me, is, and no one really talks about this, but the most beautiful people out there do not use their looks for, you know, their good looks rather, for like things that they can possibly get. They actually kind of are more even dismissive about that, if that makes any sense. So, and that's wild, because that's been coming up for me like for like 2 straight days now, or 2 days ago, I can't remember. But basically it literally is, or maybe even 3 days ago, I don't know, but I was like, that was like a random thought that came to me, that like the most beautiful people on both the inside and out, they actually don't give a fuck about And it's not about their looks, because you can actually totally be in wanting to look good, right? But it's weird because the looking good is for you. It's like and I know that sounds cliche, but I'm going to explain to you how it works. It's the aspect of you get yourself together in the way that you need to get yourself together, whether you are feeling self-loved or whether you're not, right? Because we all have those, like, tougher days, right? And you just get yourself together, and usually the craziest thing is, like, when you don't want to get yourself together is when you really should, because that's when your light is the most potent, okay? And by you not getting yourself together is like dimming your light. So just do it as if it's like ritualistic and habitualistic, and like where you're just like, okay, this is my quote unquote job to do, and just get it done. And then you go out there and people are just like, people end up seeing your light much brighter than you ever did. And the whole thing is, it's like you're just there living your life to literally, like, bring your light to wherever you're being told to take it, okay? And a lot of people, like, aren't actually told. They just go to where they, habitually feel is need, not habitually, but like, I meant to say intuitively feel where it's needed, and then you end up being at the right place at the right time, and that's how you kind of let your, I'm going to say freak flag of a divine spiritual light just shine, and fly. And people really appreciate that. And you might even feel like on your ugliest day that, like, people are giving you compliments and you're like, what the fuck is going on? But that's how energy works, like, it's really weird. It's like the complete opposite a lot of the times. So I thank you, Spirit, for actually clarifying all that, because that's exactly what I wanted to say. Don't be afraid what people think, but that needs to be transmuted or evolved more into, don't be afraid of how people are going to react to you. And by that also, okay, so there's a positive, the genuine positivity of which everybody who is of general positivity be surrounded by genuine positivity type of people. But also, we don't realize that, there's so many different fucking people that are haterades on something that they even fucking created, which is so fucking wild to me, right? Instead of just like egging on, like, normally, like, just egging on a person, whether you like them or you don't, whether you love them or you don't, it doesn't matter. The truth of the matter is the truth of the matter, right? So there's so many people that would literally invested 9 months of their life and the emotions and everything, or the non-emotions that went into and I'm saying that in a real way, because there are people that carry around kids and then all of a sudden it's like they forgot that they carried around a kid for 9 months. You know what I'm saying? When that's like a miracle. That's like an investment. That's like a work. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you just fucking one day just like forget that person means something to you, But whatever. So my whole thing is, it's like, and I understand, by the way, that some people are more emotional than not, and I understand that some people have given away their fucking emotions just as if, like, it didn't, like, because they didn't value it or they thought that they couldn't handle it. And again, maybe you gave your emotions away to your children that's ahead of you because you couldn't handle it, so they became your emotional support dog or whatever, emotional, quote unquote, emotional support animal. Hopefully this all makes sense. But literally, what I wanted to say there is, it's just more so about, like, people are just haterades sometimes, but you don't realize that we all go through the same shit. Like, we all, even the most beautiful people on this planet that look beautiful on the outside, and are beautiful on the inside, both, because I only talk to people like that. Like, it's not more so, it's not more so in a negative way of which people would be like, oh, that's still so, like, whatever, selfish. No, it's who I am. You know what I'm saying? And I attract who I am. And I'm grateful to be attracting who I am, and I'm grateful to have people like that around me, that like we can all share in the happiness of what is the light that's so beautiful on the inside and out. Because, and that's what I was just trying to say about the whole, like, the most beautiful people, like, they ignore the fact that they are beautiful on the outside, because they're doing the work that's meant to be done in this life on the inside, but also they're doing the best that they can to kind of transmute the negative energy, but also but also, what did I want to say there? They're doing the highest and best work to transmute the negative energy, but also like constantly trying to improve themselves on the inside. I don't know if that's actually what I wanted to say, but that's what came out. So the whole thing is, it's like the concentration, and I don't know if this is like a between divine feminine, divine masculine thing, but I just feel like, because like I said, divine masculines usually start on the outside. So like my feng shui, my physical feng shui would actually more so be for the divine masculines, right? And then the inner work is more so for the divine feminine, but also maybe because the divine feminine, and not to be a feminist about it, but like it kind of is true, is like we, I think it's like we kind of evolve faster on the inside, if that makes any sense. That's why, I mean, I think it's even like scientifically proven that we just like, that we're like not the more, I'm gonna say more evolved species, only because we are more proactive in, you know, in how we kind of internalize things, if that makes any sense. So, and that makes a lot of sense because of the fact that I just answered my own question. That's hilarious. But that's only because I think we have to be more internal, because we carry babies on the inside. So obviously we have to like be in touch with ourselves and in tune with ourselves. But you know, there are those feminines that are just out of alignment with themselves, you know, like, and ingenuine, which is like so weird to me, because I'm like, how the whatever, I don't know. I'm not even going to go into it because I have no idea what I'm about to say, but the whole thing is, when it comes down to it, I just feel like, you know, being in alignment inside and out, both, is basically just being genuine about how it is that you feel, whether or not, you know, whether or not somebody else is going to receive your truth, you know, peacefully or confrontationally or whatever have you. It's just like, it's having that strength and having that courage to just speak up and say what it is you have to say, whether or not somebody's going to react emotionally a certain way, and it's for you to quote unquote handle, when it's really not your problem to handle. You know what I'm saying? Your first and foremost priority and responsibility is to basically free your emotional body up to express yourself to somebody else in a truthful manner, and also to apologize if you need to apologize. But the way that they take it is the way that they take it. It doesn't mean that you now have to do the work and you have to process for them. It's like, no, you just and here's the completion of it, is you stand there and you fucking take it. Because so many people are gonna run. So many people, and here's the thing, it's hilarious because the way that I do things, it's so funny because people have always misinterpreted my like quote unquote like leaving. And the thing is, I can handle any emotion that comes my way, but the whole thing is, I also know when it's not my emotion and when it's another person's emotion, and when somebody is trying to use me to process their emotions, which is where I immediately, and I definitely am super perceptive because I've been decluttering my entire life, right? So like the whole thing is, so I'm super quick to realize what is mine and what isn't. And so when I fucking walk away knowing that it's not my shit, it's not my work to do, like this, I'm done here, you know, like that's basically it. It's not to, you know, ignore another person. It's just basically to leave a person in their time and their space for their own healing, rather than me being there, and you know, and honestly, it's honoring my own empath, where it's like, listen, I am an empath personally speaking, as many of you are. And the whole thing is, to be an empath fucking sucks sometimes, and so you're talking about so much fucking courage towards one person, when a lot of the times people don't deserve all that courage. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And that's truth talk right there. Like, you're talking about, like, oh, you want me to, like, speak my truth, stand there and take the fucking hits, and then also, like who would do that? Like, if somebody beats your ass, right? Like, physically speaking, if somebody beats your fucking ass, and then you're gonna console them, and you're gonna say, like, oh, oh, this was my fault. That's why I never understood. For some reason, my mind is going there. Like, when kids would be like, you know, oh, my parents got divorced because of me, or like, so, like, why is it because of you? Like, why would somebody think like that? Like, it makes no sense. It's just factual. It's like, oh, mom and dad are getting divorced. Like, it has nothing to do with you. Like, were you the kid that, like, you know, and I'm gonna put it in this rough and raw way, but like, and obviously there's different ages, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could be super young thinking, so I'm not even gonna say that a young aged, or, you know, a child would think this way. Thank you God that they don't. But my whole thing is, it's like, you know, at one point, or maybe if you're battling this, who knows, maybe later on in your life you're battling this out, thinking to yourself, like, oh, it's my fault that, like, my parents got divorced. Like, why the fuck would you think that? Because you weren't there, for instance, when they were, like, you know, laying each other in the bed, and you weren't there in between them. Like, some things are meant to be between two people and not have anything to do with you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't understand why why there would be some sort of fucking, why there would be even some thought to a child thinking that they're the fucking issue. Like, cool. Obviously it's coming from somewhere, like, and that needs to be treated for sure, because of the fact that that's not a normal thought process, I feel. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that was taken on by, like, you know, a mother's DNA or a father's DNA. Maybe they thought that way if their parents got divorced or some shit like that. I mean, I don't know, but that shit needs to be decluttered, because it doesn't make any sense for a kid to start bashing themselves for you know, their parents' fucking undertaking. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's why I'm like, it makes no sense. It really doesn't. And so, long story short, that also, I don't know why that ties in, but like, that also ties in, and I don't know, am I meant to say, okay, I meant to say, but I don't know how it's gonna come out. Like, it's weird, because in cahoots to what I was just saying, in alignment with what I was just saying about, like, the kid blaming themselves for their parents', like, either unhappiness in their marriage or a divorce or whatever, I feel like that somehow translates into somebody out there that could be battling the aspect of their parents, like, approving of the person that they want to be in bed with, if that makes any sense. And I don't know why that is. I have no idea. I never even thought of the connection until I'm actually just speaking about it right now. But, like, I feel like there's that too, where, like, I feel like, and maybe this is why I'm talking about it, because I have to kind of dismiss the blockage here, or solve or resolve the blockage here that might be within me or might be within you guys, that, like, I just feel like sometimes, you know, when we find quote unquote love, it's like we have to get, like, our adult guidance approval, right? Like, the approval of our you know, of our guardians is what I'm trying to say, not guidance, guardians. And so the whole thing is, it's like, it's weird, because I feel like a lot of us are holding back. Like, somebody once told me, do I go into it? Yeah, I don't know. Somebody once told me, I had a reading done, and usually I never even talk about this, but somebody once told me, they're like, oh, you have, like, there's a colored person in your life, and they were saying how, like, this colored person is, like, they're, like, fine or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is, like, you know, but the thing is, I think they hesitated, and this is so weird. I might even backtrack a little bit, because this is so weird, in terms of, all right, so here's the message. I don't even know how to structurize it, but the message is, you know, the message is, are your parents going to be in the bed with you when you are with this person, right? Like, there is a form of intimacy that you have to kind of not give a fuck about in terms of your parents approving. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think that's what I was trying to say, is that, like, there are some things that you really shouldn't give a fuck about because they're only meant for you and you yourself and what your needs are meant for, you know? And so that's what that person was telling me. And I was like, this is so interesting, because, like, I never, like, realized that that might be a thing, but maybe it is, you know, or maybe I did realize. I mean, I don't know, like, I didn't realize that it was something that I guess ran deep that somebody could pick up on. That's what I'm trying to say. And so, long story short, you know, my whole thing is, it's like, so, and here's the backstory. Do I talk about the backstory? All right, they're saying, ooh, that was an absolute no, so I'm not going to go there. And also because I think the timing, that I have only a short amount of time here, or, like, not really, but a finite, because it counts me down after an hour, I think. And so, long story short, I just feel like, and this all has to do with the reading, oddly and weirdly enough, because the fact that tomorrow's card is reconsider. So I think that maybe either somebody's coming back up in your life, or, you know, the idea of different things are coming back up in your life. I also think that there's what did I want to say? I don't know, like, a good reconsideration is coming up. Like, I'm actually smiling when that's happening, when I'm thinking about it. So, like, I feel like it's good. I feel like there's something to reconsider that maybe you haven't reconsidered. But the timing is right here for that, which is really what we're all waiting on. I want to say is all of us positive people who love energy, and who respect, the patience of love and the energy of love, and energy in and of itself, like, in terms of flow. I feel like we are the people that are going to be given something to reconsider. There's action being taken. But here's the thing. I feel like a lot of the men, because this is coming through as very masculine card for Monday, that I feel like a lot of the men are going to be reconsidering some things, right? And they're the ones that are going to be taking the action, right? And I feel like it's really weird, because on Tuesday, the card that depicts the yes has a divine feminine angel in there. So I feel like this is a divine reading where it's like the 1 and the 0, and basically, and so I just feel like there's this female on Tuesday that, after this person takes action with their reconsideration within and of themselves, you know, towards the outside, because obviously the inner work is happening. That's what I think I'm trying to say here, is like the masculines are going through some inner work on Monday. The divine feminine will be receiving it on Tuesday. And so I feel like 75% of this reading is more so for the divine masculines, and then the job, or the 25% of the reading, is the divine feminines to receive on Tuesday and say yes to, right? And midway happy week here, I'm seeing with this take action card, I'm seeing kind of like, I wanted to say shooting star first, but also it turned into like a North Star. And I know I've said this, like, I've been channeling this for a long time, but it's like, it's basically both. It's like somebody finds the North Star, but then it's the shooting star. Maybe it's like, maybe there's a shooting star near the North Star, or, you know, because I know the North Star is like stable, and then the shooting star is like movement. So I feel like maybe there's like either movement in the stabilized manner, or stabilization in the movement manner, something along those lines, or maybe where it's like just kind of a well-balanced scenario. And maybe it's more so, here's what I'm also getting, is that the divine masculine is actually going to be the movement towards their divine feminine energy of a counterpart, of which is their quote-unquote North Star. So I feel like for some reason, like if we're looking up at the sky, just hypothetically speaking, thank you, Spirit, and there's like clouds in the sky, right? So I feel like maybe there was like clouds or like confusion or like maybe the inability to see somehow, you know, when it comes to the divine masculine. But all of a sudden I feel like miraculously the clouds in the sky clear up and you're able to see like who your North Star is. You're able to see like a shooting star, which is to me maybe more so of a directional, like, oh, you go to the left or you go to the right, like whichever way the shooting star is heading, you know. But so the whole thing is, it's like I feel like, you know, that's where, like, I feel like the reconsidering is more so of a download for the divine masculines, and then they're going to be given like a sign of, which is, okay, we're showing you the North Star and we're showing you the directional of how to get to the North Star. For some reason, I don't know why I'm seeing like castle in the sky. So maybe it's like, even if you're, or castles, plural, in the sky. I know there's a song like that, and is it like Ian Von Dahl or something like that? I think that like, that has that song. But basically, it's one of my favorites. But what I want to say is, I think that it's like the divine masculine wants to find their home within a divine feminine, which is the castle in the sky, aka North Star, aka the light, aka, you know, also maybe having to do with the shooting star, right? To shoot yourself there. Oh, maybe that's what's going on. It's like you're trying to get there as quick as possible after you've been downloaded the reconsideration type of energy, where it's like, oh shit, like maybe I really, you know, and it's not even a maybe, it's a solid, because that's exactly what we solid people deserve, is a solid notion behind, you know, clarity to then make the actions happen, right? Like we do it out of solid belief. We don't do it out of, well, maybe, well, let's try this out. Like, actually, sometimes I feel like I do it, but it wouldn't be with bigger notion. It wouldn't be like with bigger concepts like that, like having to do with people. I feel like I would take, I don't know, because when people are involved, to me, and maybe this is more so divine feminine, a perspective of the divine feminine, not so much of the masculine, but like, I don't really take big risks when it comes to people, because there's so many different variables. I take risks when I solidly know within and of myself that it's what my intuition is meant to do. And also, if I make a mistake, and this has a lot to do with people though too, because again, people, places, and things are all nouns, right? But what I want to say here is giving more courage to the divine masculine to go about, you know, going after who it is that you believe in your heart that is meant for you. Basically, I want to just say that it's, first of all, it's not in a negative way, but it's healthily meant for you to gain this clarity, right? So it's kind of like, you deserve love, you deserve to know who it is that you love, and you need to approach this person, because a lot of the times divine feminines have a lot going on in terms of just like internally and externally, and trying to like balance everything, that like if you're not in their peripheral, it's like they forget, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like they're gonna forget about you. They're quick to, and I'm not gonna say quick to move on, but like, because, you know, we're all humans at the end of the day, but we are quick to move on to the next, in terms of not thinking about, you know, like in terms of what else needs our specific energy. Like, intuitively we're being moved, that's what I want to say, and we're busy with that, right? Like, we just get that, you know, that movement, that take action type of notion within and of ourselves, and then like we make shit happen. So and I know guys do that too, but I'm just saying, like, we get the take action card also, is what I want to say, and we don't, a lot of the time, like the healthy people like me, like we don't we can be quote unquote waiting to see what happens with our love life, but like we don't sit there and we don't like actually wait. We like create, we go do things, like, you know, we're still living our lives like as if like it's our last day here on earth, you know. So and maybe not so much so, but maybe to make sure that if it is our last day here on earth, like we have everything tended to. Okay, that's basically what I want to say. Like we leave it be in terms of we try to make it a lot easier on other people to like literally, you know, tend to that aspect of our lives if you know, we were meant to go type of thing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm taking it all too deep, but I'm just saying like, women like me, for instance, like to be prepared for fucking anything. And so, you know, we're simultaneously creating, but we're also building our lives, is what I wanted to say, but also building our lives to where somebody else can easily take over if need be, you know. I don't know why that portion had to come out, but maybe it was for somebody there. But so, yeah, so basically, there's a reconsideration happening. There's a truth coming out because I do see the sword here. I feel like the reconsideration took a lot of time in terms of like internally, like to get the download into this person. So maybe this person has been sitting on this idea for a very long time. And now it's kind of like they're grounding it with like a sword to like, okay, we're gonna have to start, you know, making the moves, because maybe they took far too long to even be sitting on this aspect, right? So again, but the everything is in perfect divine timing, where, you know, this midway happy way card says take action. So whatever you've been maybe sitting on, you're kind of, I feel like the masculines are, whatever they've been sitting on, they're ready to go. They're revved up. They're gonna, you know, also like, let's consider the fact that, you know, it's what the humans like to call, what is it called? Like not the dating season, but like marriage season, right? Like marriage season is coming up. So like, I feel like, you know, people like the guys are more so like thinking about like what, you know, where their lives are headed, you know what I'm saying? More so than the normal, you know, than the normal route. But also, you know, interestingly enough, I feel like there's like a lot of what do I want to say here? More so, there's a lot of endings is what's going on. And I just feel like, you know, with the endings going on, you know, the divine masculines are super wanting to just kind of maybe restart something. And if they're restarting, they might as well just like restart something that is way more meaningful to them, you know what I'm saying, instead of just like hit it and quit it type of things in terms of how they function, I mean how they normally function. So I feel like there is a meaningful reconsideration to this, and the taking action is super meaningful too. And you know, and the divine feminine is going to feel it by Tuesday. So the whole thing is, it's like we just have to, and it's so crazy that this turned into such a like love reading, because of the fact that I knew when I was setting up for this reading, I was like, this is going to be a Valentine's Day reading. Like, I just like knew it. It's definitely more so about romantic love and romantic vibes, which I'm down to start giving to, because I just think that it's a beautiful thing. So yeah, so the colors here are the blue, the purple, and the pink, magenta pink, and like the lilac purple. So I just feel like, you know, this is a very big spiritual union, of which is about to go down, and hence the meaningfulness, right? Spirituality, people don't realize, is a meaningful joy, okay? And you have to kind of be thoughtful to be spiritual. It's not kind of, you have to be thoughtful. You have to be, you definitely have to be thoughtful and creative to kind of have those two unite in order to, in order to be spiritual, I feel. But also spirituality has a lot to do with like healing through laughter, you know what I'm saying? And like through fun. So it's kind of like, it's a combination of all of what I just mentioned in order to get a meaningful type of relationship out of it, but also what's coming through is a quality type of relationship, right? Because you want those aspects to be there, you know, when you are dealing with the person. If it's not there, it's not really spiritual, right? Like, it's like they don't give a shit about you. They don't care about having fun. They don't, you know, it's just kind of like, and that's what makes me super sad sometimes when I see like people get involved in things that like are just not of a mastery type of love, I want to say, you know, or it's just kind of like they're doing it because they personally want something out of it, and what they personally want that of which they personally want something out of is not really the genuine is not really the genuine form of love. You know what I'm saying? It's like they want the kids, they want the fucking house, they want the fucking paycheck, they want, you know what I'm saying, like all this shit. But it's like, dude, at the end of the day, like, you're also dismissing the fact that you've waited a long time for this. Like, so why wouldn't you put some effort towards like actually continually to make it more meaningful, right? So and that right there is like the creativity, that's the inspiration, that's I think the key to success in terms of making things, you know, keeping them going in the, you know, highest and best and most joyous and growth filled way, you know. But so many people are like totally okay with like dismissing that aspect, and I'm like, I don't know how you fucking do that. To me, it's like the romance has to be kind of the first and foremost, you know, that you have to kind of keep at it, because it's so easy to forget about it after a long time when all these things kind of get in the mix. You know, and by that I mean like material things, of which can also be kids, right? People don't realize, like, you know, again, people are materialistic. We are not only materialistic in terms of monies and how we want monies and things, but also we are a material. We are like, you know, skin and bones. We are a mass. We are a, you know, we are like the substantial meat suit, you know what I'm saying? So the whole thing is we are a part of the material world. So the thing is, it's like we need to make it more of a non-material essence at the foundation, so that we can really kind of prolong the love that, you know, we have for one another, but also, you know, for ourselves first and then one another, you know? Like, for instance, I don't know why that came to me a long time, like recently, but like a while back, like in terms of like, I don't know, a week ago or something. But like, I remember when, and I don't know why I feel like I have to say this, but I remember I was watching Jersey Shore, and Lauren's said, she was like, oh, she said to Angelina or something like that, like when Angelina was seeing her man or whatever, and she was like, oh yeah, you guys don't have sex. She's like, and they don't even have fucking kids, which is nuts, right? So like, when you're not having sex, like, and you don't even have kids, there's like an even bigger problem. I feel like that should be like a serious red flag, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, she said it perfectly. She was like, well, there's always this shower, like people need to shower, so it's like practicality needs to be like she was like, why don't you guys just like meet in the shower, you know? And it's so funny because I believe in that too. Like, I believe that, like, you know, romance doesn't have to be this like, wow, this crazy fucking like all the time, like you gotta, you know, do like super crazy big Valentine's Day, you know, I don't know, shindigs for like the person that you love. Like, you don't have to like massively show them that you love them, but you know, the whole thing is, it's like you gotta do what it takes in terms of a thoughtful way to prolong your love for each other, which is basically like hop in the fucking shower with one another. Like, yeah, both of you need to shower. Just fucking quickies are fucking, I think quickies are like super underrated, you know what I'm saying? Because like both people, yeah, you have like lives you have to get to, and I'm really seeing the word yes, not question mark, but yes, exclamation point. So yeah, that's like a confirmation, like, yeah, maybe there's going to be like a quickness to it, PS, but also maybe like, you know, a quickie in terms of is what would be, you know, like it's it's a quickie is better than nothing is what's coming through. It's like a quickie is better than nothing because like you still reconnect. So and again, people have shit to do, so it's kind of like, you know, don't let the material stuff of life get in the way of, you know, what your love can literally bring to the table, is what I'm trying to say. So with that being said, Spirit is having me go back to the whole reconsider card. So I don't know what it is about the reconsider card, but I am picking up that it has something to do with sex. So maybe somebody's having like a really weird sex life or some shit, like in terms of like it's not going somewhere or it's not being reciprocated. I think that's what's happening, is that people are reconsidering because somehow with the whole sex thing, love isn't being reciprocated. I think that's what's going on. And people are willing to reconsider it, especially the guys now, to just be like, no, I think I need to go find something. Or they actually, it's not that they think, they know it. And they're going to go find something that they know is to be true. It's counting me down, guys. So I'm all about that life. I think it's great. Enjoy your day, guys, and love it. Bye.